Hello, I'm Steven. At 20, I carry the warmth of Southern California in my heart, where I was born and raised. I am employed by a quaint yet bustling pool cleaning and maintenance company. It may lack glamour, yet my affection for it runs deep. It nurtures my body, sustains my life, and allows me to embrace the warmth of the sun as I wander through my days. My work primarily consists of clearing away remnants, harmonizing the chemicals, and ensuring the pool systems operate seamlessly. It's uncomplicated, direct, and I find myself quite adept at it. I find fulfillment in ensuring that pools shimmer with clarity. That morning unfolded much like any other. My supervisor entrusted me with a new task. The address lay within a refined neighborhood that was familiar to me, yet it was a place where I had never sought employment before. Spacious homes, elegant vehicles, perfectly tended gardens. Land of the affluent. The job note indicated that the client seeks the removal of debris, a chemical treatment, and a thorough system check. It promises to be a day of gentle simplicity. I loaded my belongings into the truck, entered the destination into my phone, and set off, the familiar melodies enveloping me as I drove. As I entered the lengthy driveway, a subtle tension gripped my jaw. The estate was grand, adorned with Spanish-style architecture, surrounded by towering hedges, its white stucco walls standing elegantly beneath the embrace of black iron gates. I eased my car beside a gleaming new Range Rover, inhaling deeply as I approached the front door, clipboard in hand. I rapped gently on the door, and after a brief pause, it swung open to reveal what lay beyond. It was at that moment I first laid eyes on her. She appeared to be in her early 40s, yet there was an essence about her that transcended the years. Her presence was imbued with grace, and she moved through the world with a serene assurance. Her face held a gentle softness, intertwined with an undeniable confidence. Her green eyes met mine, lingering for a moment that felt both intimate and revealing, drawing my attention in a way that made me conscious of my gaze. "Hello. You must be Steven," she said, her smile radiating warmth and invitation. "Please, step inside. My name is Nancy." "Hello there. My dear Steven. Care for your oasis?" I raised my clipboard with a hint of hesitation. I had grown accustomed to the fleeting glances of others, their gestures merely a brief wave toward the backyard before retreating indoors. Nancy chose not to do that. Instead, she took a step back and gestured for me to enter. "May I offer you a drink to start our time together? Shall we share a cup of coffee? May I offer you some water? Would you like some lemonade?" she asked softly. I blinked, taken aback. I nearly turned her down as I often do, yet there was an undeniable warmth in her presence that disarmed me. "A glass of lemonade would be delightful, thank you." She guided me through a luminous living room adorned with exquisite art, leading us out onto the patio. The pool exuded a breathtaking beauty. A vast expanse, pristine and inviting, framed by lounge chairs and palm trees gently dancing in the soft breeze. I placed my supplies gently on the table as she reappeared, holding a tall glass adorned with glistening droplets of condensation. "Here you are," she murmured softly. Presented me with the drink. "The warmth outside is undeniable. I never wanted you to feel like you were merely a source of assistance. I hold a deep admiration for those who dedicate themselves to their endeavors." I offered a soft laugh, my gratitude spilling forth in a gentle whisper. We lingered for a moment in that delicate silence that precedes the beginning of a conversation. "Your home is truly lovely," I remarked. "I appreciate it deeply. The journey has unfolded gradually. I crafted a life for myself, achieved financial success, acquired the home of my dreams, and now I find myself pondering what lies ahead," she chuckled softly. Then her tone transformed into a gentle whisper. "Now, I find myself here in solitude. In moments of stillness, I find comfort in the presence of others, even if they are merely transient souls passing by." Her candidness took me by surprise. Many clients offered little more than their names, often shrouded in silence. Nancy appeared truly delighted at the prospect of sharing a moment, even if it was merely through words exchanged between them. I offered a gentle nod, feeling a quiet uncertainty about how to respond. With a gentle sigh, I placed the glass down, acknowledging that it was time to begin. Certainly. I'll allow you to focus, she said with a gentle smile. Taking a step back, yet remaining close enough to feel the warmth of connection. I slipped on my gloves, prepared a skimmer net, and began my task with quiet determination. The pool required only the slightest attention. Only a handful of leaves and petals drift gently along the periphery. This part resonates with me deeply. The gentle cadence of tidying up, the sun's embrace warming my skin, and the soothing melody of water caressing the tiles create a serene moment of reflection. I engaged in the delicate task of testing the chlorine levels, gently brushing down the sides, and attentively checking the filters. The familiar rhythm of my tasks gently eased the lingering tension that had settled within me earlier. From time to time, I would lift my gaze and find Nancy gracefully tending to the patio. At times, lost in conversation, at others, nestled in a lounger with a book, or perhaps gazing at me with an intensity that lingers just a moment longer than expected. I dismissed it as a mere figment of my imagination. I redirected my attention to my work. About an hour later, I found myself kneeling by the pump system, gently wiping down the panel when her shadow gracefully fell across mine. I raised my gaze. Nancy stood above me, arms crossed with a relaxed grace, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "You truly have a way of taking your work to heart," she playfully remarked. "I strive for completeness in all that I do." I returned the smile, rising gracefully and gently smoothing my hands over my shorts. She moved a fraction nearer, with an effortless grace. The gentle waft of perfume danced through the air, a delicate blend of citrus notes, hinting at something luxurious and refined. She cast me a teasing look and uttered words that echoed in my thoughts throughout the day. I let out a soft chuckle, attempting to mask my unease with a faint smile. "I will take a moment to complete this system check." She chuckled gently, pivoting gracefully as she strolled back to her lounger, her movements now imbued with a deliberate allure. I lingered for a moment, caught in a fleeting reverie, before gently redirecting my attention to the pump readings before me. My hands remained calm, yet my thoughts surged with intensity. What did she truly intend? Could it have been a jest? A challenge, perhaps? Did she imply that I should be toyed with? Or was there a deeper truth behind her words? I gently shook my head, a faint smile gracing my lips, before returning to my tasks. I had a task to complete, yet there was an undeniable connection to this house, to this woman that stirred something deep within me. Today held the promise of something unique. The afternoon lingered, yet it was not the tasks at hand that weighed it down. Thoughts of Nancy's whispered words lingered in my mind, echoing softly like a cherished secret. I urged myself to concentrate, to maintain a sense of professionalism, yet each time my gaze drifted to the patio and I caught sight of her reclining with her sunglasses perched elegantly on her nose, or leisurely turning the pages of a magazine, that thought reverberated softly within me. Your presence lingers in my thoughts, making it difficult to concentrate on the tasks at hand. I found myself uncertain whether her intentions were sincere or merely a playful jest. I preferred to refrain from making any assumptions. With a single misstep, everything I've worked for could slip away, leaving me in a precarious position. I maintained my distance, completing the chemical treatments and pump maintenance with the same care and attention I would offer at any other home. As I washed my tools by the side gate, the sound of footsteps approached softly from behind. "Your dedication is truly admirable," Nancy remarked with a gentle warmth. I turned to face the world behind me. She stood a mere few feet away, her arms gracefully folded across her chest, as the soft breeze played with her hair. "I take pride in my work," I replied with quiet sincerity. "I can tell," she murmured, her eyes lingering on mine for a moment that felt both fleeting and eternal. "Could you please step inside for just a moment before you leave? I prepared dinner for us. It would be a pity to let it slip away. I prepared a meal ample for two. This is simply my way of expressing gratitude. Your kindness and professionalism have truly stood out." For a moment, I lingered in uncertainty. Typically, I keep my professional life separate from the personal, yet there was something in her tone that felt warm and genuine. There was no hint of pressure, merely a heartfelt invitation. I never sensed any pressure, only a sincere warmth that embraced me. I hope to tread lightly. It seems unlikely that you would be. In all sincerity, a gentle smile graced her lips. These days, solitude seems to be my constant companion. I lingered in that moment, contemplating the choice before me. My stomach spoke on my behalf. Having missed lunch, the thought of a lovingly prepared meal was simply irresistible. Very well, I replied, if only for a brief moment. She radiated warmth as she gestured for me to join her within. I collected my belongings, secured my truck, and entered her sanctuary. The interior of the house mirrored the beauty of its exterior, each detail whispering a quiet elegance. Lofty ceilings, gentle neutral hues, refined furnishings, and a warm, inviting glow. The space was imbued with personal touches, photographs capturing her journeys, art that spoke of elegance, and a grand vase filled with fresh blooms gracing the table. She guided me to the dining area, where the table awaited us, elegantly arranged for two. The candles cast a gentle glow, their flames dancing delicately in the dim light. An unopened bottle of wine rested in the center, a silent promise of moments yet to unfold. The aroma of grilled vegetables mingled with the rich scent of roasted chicken, enveloping the room in a warm embrace. "Text, you truly didn't need to put in all this effort," I remarked, feeling a deep sense of admiration. "That's absurd," she responded softly. "There is a deep joy I find in the art of cooking. It brings me a sense of calm." I settled into my seat, a sense of unease washing over me as I realized how out of sync I felt in my work attire. Nancy gracefully set down 2 plates, her movements fluid as she poured sparkling water for us both. We shared a meal and engaged in quiet conversation. At last, I found a moment of tranquility that day. The dialogue unfolded effortlessly. She shared with me the journey of her career in real estate. For 2 decades, she had poured her heart into nurturing her business, exploring the world, and pursuing her aspirations with unwavering dedication. "I never settled down," she admitted, her laughter gentle and reflective. "I found myself in a constant pursuit, seeking the next opportunity, the next home, the next aspiration. Now I possess all that I once believed would bring me fulfillment, yet I find myself longing for someone to share it with." I nodded, my attention fully captured by the moment. It was a revelation, one that caught me off guard, coming from someone like her. She exuded a refined confidence, yet beneath that surface lay a profound sense of solitude. I shared with her the journey of my career, how I dove into pool work immediately after high school, expressing my passion for the outdoors, and how the demands of my job often left little room for dating or spending time with friends. Nancy chuckled gently. "It seems we both have a tendency to immerse ourselves in our work." "I suppose that's the case." A gentle smile graced my lips. After we finished our meal, she reclined in her chair, gently swirling her glass of water, lost in contemplation. "May I pose a question to you, Stephen?" she inquired softly. "Have you ever found yourself acting in a way that feels entirely unlike you? A moment of spontaneity, a daring adventure shared with someone unknown?" I paused, momentarily taken aback by the inquiry. To be completely candid? Absolutely not. I tend to embrace a more composed nature. Responsibilities have always been a part of my life. My days are filled with long hours of dedication. I tend to stay in more often than not. Her expression became tender. How unfortunate. Life is fleeting, and it beckons us to embrace moments of joy and lightness along the way. I offered a gentle smile, my shoulders lifting slightly in a casual gesture. "It seems I've never truly contemplated it before." Nancy tilted her head, her playful grin lighting up the moment between us. "Perhaps this evening holds a special opportunity for you." I gazed at her, a blend of confusion and fascination stirring within me. "Could you clarify what you mean?" She rose gracefully, gliding towards the window, her gaze drifting into the soft embrace of the evening sky. "I don't mean anything too wild," she said, glancing back at me. "I simply suggest embracing a sense of freedom, allowing for spontaneity, and exploring something new for a change. You possess a youthful spirit." Embrace the essence of life, if only for a fleeting evening. I reclined in my chair, a gentle uncertainty enveloping me as I pondered my response. The thought of sharing more moments with her beyond the confines of work stirred a sense of both trepidation and unexpected thrill. Nancy returned to the table, her posture relaxed as she leaned against its edge, lost in thought. Her arms rested gently across her chest. I understand your perspective. I have gained some years of experience. I am a valued client. Perhaps this will come across as unusual to you. I seek only what your heart is willing to give. If you're willing, I believe it could be delightful to simply spend some time together outside. Stroll into a cozy bar, wander along the shoreline, and take a drive with the windows open, letting the music fill the air. Embrace life's moments, however fleeting they may be. Let go of all expectations. Two souls seeking a moment to escape the ordinary. I gazed at her, lost in the depths of that fleeting moment. The sensible part of me urged a gentle refusal, whispering for me to turn away and leave quietly. Yet, a different part of me, one that had long been ensnared in the monotony of daily routines, felt a stirring of temptation. A soft smile graced my lips. Words seemed to escape me in this moment. Her laughter was a gentle whisper, a soft melody that lingered in the air. Please respond with either a yes or a no. I leaned in, allowing my arms to gently rest upon the table. Indeed, I agree. Nancy's eyes sparkled with a gentle glow. Is that so? Indeed, I did. You have a point. I tend to follow a path that feels familiar and safe. Perhaps the moment has arrived. That's wonderful, she remarked, her eyes sparkling with delight. Return to your sanctuary. Please change out of your clothes and return to me here in an hour. Let us take my car, then. We'll set your truck aside for now, allowing you to focus on what truly matters without any concerns. I nodded, a flicker of disbelief lingering within me at the weight of my own commitment. Very well. I shall return shortly. I rose to my feet, and she gracefully guided me to the door. As I stepped outside, her smile was inviting, and she gently urged, "Don't keep me waiting too long, Stephen." I made my way back to my truck, my thoughts swirling in a gentle haze. The day unfolded in a manner I could never have anticipated. I turned the key in the ignition, casting a lingering look at the house before easing out of the driveway. I found myself with a fleeting hour to unravel the complexities of the situation I had unwittingly stepped into. The journey back to my home carried an air of enchantment. I found myself revisiting every moment in my thoughts. The opportunity presented, her invitation, my unforeseen choice to embrace it. I arrived at my modest apartment complex, parked my truck, and hurried inside, eager to escape the world outside. I removed my work attire and lingered before the mirror, lost in thought for a moment. What occupies your thoughts at this moment, Stephen? I murmured softly to myself. I slipped into a fresh pair of jeans, a simple black t-shirt, and my favorite sneakers. I applied a touch of cologne, subtle yet enticing, and gently ran my fingers through my hair. Time flowed gently, each tick resonating with unspoken emotions. As I returned to Nancy's neighborhood, the sun had gracefully descended beyond the hills, casting a warm, deep orange hue across the sky. Her silver convertible rested in the driveway, its top lowered, shimmering gently in the tender glow of the evening light. I parked my truck, stepped out, and approached the front door with a sense of anticipation. Just as I raised my hand to knock, the door gently opened before me. Nancy stood there, clad in fitted jeans that accentuated her figure, a delicate, flowy blouse that danced gently with the breeze, and sandals that whispered of summer days. Her wavy hair cascaded gently past her shoulders, and as she smiled, a delicate fragrance enveloped me. She radiated a beauty that seemed to flow naturally, as if untouched by the world around her. "You made it," she said, her voice wrapped in warmth. "I began to wonder if you had reconsidered your feelings." "Not just yet," I responded, a smile playing on my lips. She chuckled softly, her fingers brushing against the smooth leather of her small purse as she lifted it from the side table. "Shall we leave this place behind and find somewhere new together?" We strolled to the car, and I settled into the passenger seat. The leather seats embraced me with a gentle coolness, while the soft breeze whispered through the open window. She ignited the engine and glided gracefully down the winding driveway. In the beginning, our words were few. The soft strains of music filled the air as she navigated the serpentine coastal road. The final rays of sunlight twinkled upon the surface of the water. "I don't find myself in this position often," she finally confessed after a few moments of silence. I found myself in agreement as well. She smiled softly, her gaze drifting toward me, revealing her intentions. There are moments when one must gently remind themselves that existence transcends mere routines and obligations. I nodded, feeling a gentle uncertainty about how to respond. I found myself pondering whether this was a date or merely two souls seeking refuge from the monotony of everyday life. The initial destination was a quaint beachfront bar she was familiar with, nestled between charming tourist shops and delightful ice cream stands. As we entered, a wave of self-consciousness washed over me, feeling out of place amidst the stylish crowd, yet Nancy exuded an effortless ease that captivated me. We discovered a cozy booth by the window. The bartender served her a delicate glass of white wine while I received a simple soda. The conversation flowed effortlessly once more. Our conversation meandered through every thought and feeling we held dear. There were moments of frustration, the complexities of growing up in Southern California, the awkwardness of first jobs, and even the tenderly embarrassing tales from high school. Eventually, the peculiar nature of the evening slipped from my mind. Nancy possessed a unique ability to envelop you in a sense of belonging, as if the very moment was precisely where you were meant to be. As we stepped out of the bar, the night air embraced us with its cool, salty breath. The street hummed with gentle melodies, the warmth of laughter mingling with the distant whispers of waves meeting the shore. "Are you weary?" she inquired, as she unlocked the car. "No, not really," I replied softly. She smiled, a warmth spreading across her face. "There is another location that has captured my thoughts." She guided us away from the town, following the serene coastal highway. After a brief interlude of about 15 minutes, she guided the car to a quaint overlook, a hidden gem amidst the landscape. The ocean unfurled in an infinite embrace beneath the soft glow of the moonlight. We found ourselves on a weathered wooden bench, gazing out at the tranquil water before us. The gentle rhythm of the waves enveloped us, creating a serene silence that lingered between us for a time. In that moment, she shattered the stillness that enveloped them. "Are you aware of the true reason I invited you to join me this evening?" I glanced at her, a sense of intrigue washing over me. "It has been ages since I've experienced such joy," she murmured gently. "I often find myself constructing barriers, creating space between myself and others. This evening unfolded with a gentle grace." I found myself at a loss for words. I simply nodded, a quiet understanding passing between us. "And what about you?" she inquired softly. "Are you enjoying yourself?" A gentle smile graced my lips. "Indeed, I am. I never anticipated it, yet here I am, grateful that I embraced the moment." Nancy reclined gently, drawing her light jacket closer around her shoulders, seeking a touch of warmth in the cool air. "It may seem unusual, but I truly needed this evening. I longed to rediscover the essence of life within me. I appreciate your presence." As I gazed into her eyes, time seemed to pause, and we lingered in that shared moment of connection. It was a moment marked by quiet simplicity, devoid of grand gestures or heightened emotions. A gentle connection blossoming between two souls, each hailing from distinct realms, yet discovering a shared space where their hearts can meet. We lingered in conversation, sharing our thoughts on the intricacies of life. On the swift passage of time and the transformations it brings. Reflections on what was lost and what still beckons. The dialogue flowed effortlessly, reminiscent of the gentle waves lapping beneath us. In due time, Nancy rose gracefully, her body arching in a gentle stretch. "Shall we make our way back now? I hope to respect your time and not keep you out too late." As we strolled back to the car, a serene calm enveloped us during the drive home. The distant city lights shimmered softly, casting a gentle glow across the night. We both embraced the quiet, allowing it to linger between us without any urgency to break it. As we arrived at her driveway, she silenced the engine and shifted her gaze toward me. "I truly enjoyed our evening together," she murmured gently. "I felt the same way," I responded softly. For a fleeting moment, she paused, then a gentle smile graced her lips once more. "I understand that I expressed a desire for no expectations, and I truly meant those words. Would you care to step inside for a while? Earlier, I prepared a warm cup of coffee. Or perhaps tea, should that be your inclination." I gazed at her, deciphering the nuances of her expression. There existed a gentle ease, devoid of any unspoken implications. Simply a touch of kindness, intertwined with a gentle reluctance to let the evening fade away. "Of course," I replied. "A warm cup of coffee seems inviting." As we stepped out of the car, we strolled toward the house, illuminated by the gentle warmth of the porch light. Uncertainty lingered in the air, leaving me in quiet anticipation of what was to come. For the first time in ages, I found myself at ease, free from the weight of overthinking. I found myself fully immersed in the present, savoring each fleeting second. As we entered, a serene stillness enveloped the house. The gentle illumination of the subdued lights and the delicate scent of freshly brewed coffee enveloped us. Nancy gestured for me to settle at the expansive kitchen island as she reached for 2 mugs nestled within the cabinet. "Do you prefer it black, or would you like cream and sugar?" she inquired softly as she poured. "Black is perfectly fine," I responded. She gently pushed a steaming mug in my direction, her posture relaxed as she leaned against the counter, a soft smile gracing her lips. I gently encircled it with my hands. The gentle embrace of warmth contrasts beautifully with the cool night air that lingers on my skin. "I'm truly pleased you decided to join me this evening," she said. "You possess a uniqueness that sets you apart from the crowd." A soft laugh escaped me. "In what way, may I ask?" "You truly listened," she remarked, her voice gentle yet heartfelt. "Your attention was fully present, not lost in the distractions of a screen or feigned interest. You truly heard me." A soft smile graced my lips. "Perhaps it's due to the scarcity of moments I have to truly sit and engage in conversation with anyone. Work occupies my time," she acknowledged with a knowing glance. "I comprehend that more deeply than you might realize." As we savored our coffee, the conversation meandered gently once more. Our conversation meandered through the depths of meaning and the lightness of the mundane. The chaos of LA traffic, the exquisite tacos that tantalize our taste buds, and our shared bewilderment at the current fascination with avocado toast. It unfolded with a gentle ease, reminiscent of 2 souls reconnecting after a long separation. As the clock softly ticked past midnight, I rose and extended my limbs, savoring the stillness of the night. "It seems I must take my leave now. I have work awaiting me in the morning." Nancy paused for a moment, a gentle smile gracing her lips. "I wished for your presence to linger just a bit more." I stood still, caught in the moment. "Could you clarify what you mean?" "Take a breath," she chuckled gently, noticing the expression that crossed my features. "Not for reasons of that nature." I was contemplating the idea of embracing a bit of spontaneity. It has been quite some time since I last experienced this. I arched an eyebrow, a silent question lingering in the air. "What do you mean?" She approached the expansive glass doors that opened to the backyard, gently drawing them apart. The gentle night breeze whispered through the air. "Come on," she said, beckoning me to join her outside. We ventured into the backyard. The surface of the pool glimmered softly beneath the embrace of the moonlight. She removed her sandals and let her toes gently touch the cool water at the pool's edge. "I remember the magic of late-night swims," she said, her voice tinged with a wistful longing. "Yet, it has been many years since I last experienced it." Perpetually occupied. Perpetually contemplating the dawn that follows. "You mentioned before that you don't quite excel at embracing the wild side of life." "I feel the same way." "What are your thoughts on this?" For a moment, I lingered in uncertainty. "Are you suggesting we take a dip in the water?" "Absolutely not." She smiled softly. what holds us back? I chuckled softly, a hint of uncertainty in my voice. I find myself without a swimsuit. She offered a playful shrug, a light-hearted gesture that danced between jest and allure. I feel the same way. Yet, let us not overlook the simplicity of our feat, let's savor this moment together. The part of me that had long been restrained by the weight of obligations and routines emerged unexpectedly, embracing the thrill of spontaneity. I removed my shoes and socks, rolled up my jeans, and settled beside her at the pool's edge, allowing my legs to immerse in the cool, invigorating water. Nancy let out a soft, satisfied sigh. Do you see? Isn't that a delightful sensation? Indeed, I confessed. You were indeed correct. For a while, we lingered in quietude, gazing up at the stars that adorned the night sky. The faint murmur of distant traffic, the soft chirping of crickets, and the delicate lapping of water against the pool's edge created a serene symphony of tranquility. Then she whispered softly. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, I have allowed myself to simply pause. Let us embrace a moment of stillness, free from the demands of meetings. There are no emails to be found. Nothing on the horizon. Only this. My eyes drifted toward her. The moonlight gently illuminated her delicate features, casting a serene glow upon her tranquil expression. She appeared serene, a gentle contrast to the composed, refined businesswoman who had greeted her at the door earlier that day. I find myself in unfamiliar territory, I confessed. It evokes a strange yet pleasant sensation. She turned to face me, her emerald gaze seeking the depths of my own. I understand this may seem unconventional, Stephen. Though our paths are shaped by distinct origins and experiences, I feel a connection that transcends those differences. Yet this evening has brought me a joy I haven't experienced in many years. I offered a gentle smile. I feel the same way. We lingered in a gentle silence once more until Nancy rose, stretching her legs with a graceful movement. Before the warmth fades from my feet entirely, I wish to extend one final invitation. I rose as well, gently sliding my shoes back onto my feet. What is that? She embraced herself with a playful gesture, a soft smile gracing her lips. I have a rather intriguing thought. Please feel free to decline, I assure you, I will understand completely. What if we simply continued on this path together? We lingered in the night, as if we were young lovers, free from the burdens of the dawn. Take a cozy blanket, journey to the beach, and witness the dawn's gentle embrace. I gazed at her, taken aback by the unexpected proposal. Is this for real? Absolutely, she responded. You mentioned that this isn't something you typically engage in. I find myself feeling the same way now. Perhaps we should consider bending that rule. Only this once. I paused to reflect on it for a moment. Every fiber of my being longed to utter a yes. Very well, I replied with a soft smile. Shall we embrace this moment together? Her face glowed with a sincere, almost innocent delight. Exquisite. I'll fetch the blanket. Moments later, with a cozy blanket tucked away and a thermos of steaming coffee in hand, we settled back into her car and eased out of the driveway. The streets lay quiet, a gentle hush enveloping the evening air. The city lay still, enveloped in a serene tranquility that only the late hours can bestow. Our conversation was sparse throughout the drive. The wind danced through the open windows as Nancy glided along the Pacific Coast Highway. The white lines danced beneath the tires, and in that moment, I experienced a liberation that had eluded me for far too long. The beach lay shrouded in darkness, a quiet expanse awaiting our presence as we arrived. The moon cast its gentle glow upon the water's surface. We laid the blanket upon the gentle sand, settled in, and embraced each other against the cool whisper of the breeze. The ocean waves rolled in a gentle cadence, and we lingered together, side by side, as the horizon transformed from shadowy black to a rich, deep indigo. As the first whisper of pale gold graced the horizon, Nancy gently laid her head upon my shoulder. Thank you for this, she murmured softly. It was something I truly longed for. I smiled softly, gazing out at the endless expanse of the ocean. So do I. The sun gently emerged from behind the horizon, bathing the undulating waves in a tender golden light. We lingered in quietude, observing the sky transform from a profound navy to a gentle pastel orange. The breeze carried a chill, yet it felt invigorating against the skin. Nancy rested her head gently on my shoulder, and I found myself wishing for that moment to linger indefinitely. Never had I witnessed a sunrise quite like this, particularly not in the company of someone so extraordinary as her. In that fleeting moment, the uncertainty of our connection and the future faded away, leaving only the profound significance of now. In due time, Nancy propped herself up, gently warming her arms against the lingering coolness, and offered me a soft, drowsy smile. Perhaps it's time for us to return. Don't forget about your responsibilities, my dear. I chuckled gently. Indeed, my absence will surely leave my boss wondering where I've gone. She rose, gently sweeping the sand from her jeans, while I assisted in folding the blanket with care. We strolled back to the car, enveloped in a gentle silence. It wasn't due to any sense of discomfort, rather, it was our shared desire to preserve the enchantment of that serene, idyllic morning. The journey home was enveloped in silence. Nancy held the steering wheel with a relaxed grip, her other hand gently resting on her lap, embodying a serene confidence as she drove. I gazed out at the coastline, my thoughts lingering on the events of the past 12 hours. As we arrived at her driveway, the gentle warmth of the California sun began to disperse the lingering morning mist. I emerged from the car, retrieved my backpack from the back seat, and turned to meet her gaze. Last night was truly special, and I want you to know how much I appreciate it. I find myself in uncharted territory, having never experienced anything quite like that before. Nancy smiled softly, her arms gently draped over the edge of the car door. I find myself in a position of gratitude towards you. It has been years since I last felt so vibrantly alive. We lingered in that moment, both hesitant to be the one to break the silence and utter the farewell. In that moment, she shattered the stillness that enveloped us. Listen, she murmured, her gaze reflecting a deep contemplation. We each have our own paths, our own responsibilities, yet I can't help but feel the connection that lingers between us. I seek nothing intricate. Free from expectations, unbound by labels. Yet, I find myself yearning to see you once more. Should you find yourself with a moment to spare, I would welcome the opportunity. Take your time. A gentle smile graced my lips. I would cherish that. Her smile deepened, and her eyes glimmered with warmth. Well, that's lovely. It would be wise to leave now, lest the moment slip away from you. I gave a slight nod, took a step back, and began to make my way toward my truck. Yet, in the midst of my journey, I paused and looked back. Nancy, my dear? Indeed. May I reach out to you later? She chuckled softly, resting against her car with a gentle grace. You should indeed. A soft smile graced my lips as I waved goodbye, then I slipped into my truck and drove away, the world fading behind me. The journey to my next destination felt almost dreamlike. It lingered in my mind, the way an ordinary workday transformed into an unexpected, unforgettable experience that would forever remain etched in my heart. I found myself glancing at my phone, a quiet hope stirring within me for a message from her, even as I moved through my next appointment. As the months unfolded, our connection settled into a gentle, unvoiced rhythm. I would visit from time to time after work. There were moments when we would share a meal together. There were moments when we would linger by the pool, lost in conversation for what felt like an eternity. On other evenings, we would meander along the coastline, reminiscent of that enchanting first night. We chose to embrace simplicity together. We never put a name to what we shared. From the very beginning, we found common ground. We wished to keep our lives uncomplicated for one another. There existed a serene understanding, free from envy, turmoil, or unattainable hopes. It was merely two souls who found true delight in one another's presence. I kept my feelings for Nancy to myself. They are not my companions. They are not my colleagues. It was a cherished secret, an intimacy that belonged solely to us, and perhaps that is what rendered it so extraordinary. As the months drifted by, the world around me remained unchanged. I continued my routine, diligently attending to my responsibilities, and on those rare evenings when I found a moment to breathe, a message from her would light up my phone. If you find yourself free, I would love for you to come by. I have coffee or wine at the ready, as I always have. As I find myself in this moment, reflecting on that initial day, the job ticket in hand, the winding driveway ahead, her playful voice dancing around me by the pool, a smile graces my lips. At the time, I was unaware that day would gently alter the course of my life in subtle, unforeseen ways. We never found ourselves as a couple. Not in the usual way. We never took the step of introducing one another to our friends or family. Yet, for a moment, we transformed into something even more beautiful. Two souls who gently illuminated the quiet spaces in one another's hearts. Even now, as I receive the occasional message from her, I find myself forever holding on to the memory of that day, that woman, and the unassuming words that ignited everything. Your presence lingers in my thoughts, making it difficult to concentrate on the tasks at hand.